We're here today to examine a monument to American ingenuity, the Panama Canal. This vital waterway links the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, serving as a crucial hub in global trade. Recently, the new president has repeatedly emphasized that the U.S. should take back control of the canal. President Trump has argued that repurchasing the canal is vital for national security, claiming that Panama has broken a promise to remain neutral and alleging that China is operating the canal. He believes that Panama's commitment to neutrality has been violated, stating, "Panama's promise to us has been broken, and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated." But beneath these troubled waters lies something even more extraordinary, a discovery that challenges everything we thought we knew about this engineering marvel. This isn't just another maritime story. It's a revelation that could change everything. The Panama Canal, a marvel of engineering that moves billions in cargo daily, now stands on the brink of something unprecedented. What began with subtle vibrations has escalated into a crisis, sending shock waves through the global economy. Imagine the world's most crucial waterway hiding a secret that could reshape global trade overnight. It all began as subtle disturbances in the Panama Canal's lock system, initially dismissed as routine operational noise. However, these vibrations held a secret, one that would soon demand the attention of experts worldwide. As the vibrations grew more pronounced, the Panama Canal Authority realized they were dealing with something unprecedented. Enter the underwater drones, cutting-edge technology deployed to peer into the murky depths. The findings were alarming. Hairline fractures were spreading through critical infrastructure sections, each one a potential harbinger of catastrophe. But these weren't ordinary structural weaknesses. They were symptoms of something far more ominous lurking beneath the surface. The stakes couldn't be higher. The canal plays an integral role in global commerce, with vessels carrying billions in cargo across these waters daily. When reports of structural compromises emerged, the ripple effects were immediate. Markets trembled, shipping companies held their breath, and governments worldwide snapped to attention. Engineering teams raced against time to assess the scope of the crisis. But as they delved deeper into the issue, they stumbled upon something that would transform this emergency into a mystery spanning centuries. Geological experts armed with advanced monitoring equipment have identified what appears to be a previously unknown tectonic fault line, a sleeping giant beneath one of the world's most crucial waterways. This discovery has transformed our understanding of the region's geological stability and raised questions that have kept engineers awake at night. Consider the sheer magnitude of what's at stake. A waterway that handles over 5% of global maritime commerce, now potentially compromised by forces far beyond human control. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers' rapid deployment speaks volumes about the severity of the situation. When the world's leading engineering minds drop everything to assess a canal, it's clear something unprecedented is unfolding. The ripple effect throughout the global economy has already begun. Markets from Shanghai to Rotterdam are pricing in the possibility of major disruptions, and shipping companies are quietly running scenarios for alternative routes, longer, costlier paths that harken back to the days before the canal's existence. We are witnessing a situation that maritime experts have long theorized about but hoped never to face. As pressure mounts on the Panama Canal Authority, they race against time to understand the full scope of these structural anomalies. Every passing vessel, now, carries not just cargo, but the weight of uncertainty. The question isn't just how to fix the immediate problems. It's whether we're prepared for the possibility that one of global trade's most fundamental assumptions might need to be reconsidered. But beneath these turbulent waters, as engineers grapple with the mounting crisis, their high-tech equipment was about to reveal something even more astounding. Ancient structures hidden for centuries, waiting to tell their story. The true scale of the Panama Canal crisis emerged through a barrage of technical data that left even seasoned engineers struggling to comprehend its magnitude. Advanced structural analysis revealed a network of stress patterns unlike anything previously documented in modern maritime engineering. The damage wasn't just surface level. It represented a complex matrix of interconnected weaknesses that threatened the very foundation of this crucial waterway. Geological survey teams, equipped with state-of-the-art seismic monitoring equipment, mapped an intricate web of fault lines beneath the canal zone. Their findings painted a disturbing picture. The tectonic activity wasn't isolated. It formed part of a larger geological system that had somehow remained undetected during decades of operation. The data suggested potential movement patterns that could trigger catastrophic failures with minimal warning. Stress tests indicated that critical support structures were operating dangerously close to their theoretical limits. The situation is dire. Real-time monitoring systems began throwing up red flags with alarming frequency. The structural integrity issues weren't static. They were dynamic, evolving challenges that seemed to worsen with each passing day. As one section showed signs of stabilization, another would display concerning patterns. The canal's complex lock system, once a marvel of engineering precision, now exhibited signs of stress that defied conventional understanding. Meanwhile, shipping companies worldwide started receiving technical briefings that forced them to confront an uncomfortable reality. The Panama Canal's operational parameters were being revised downward drastically, affecting global maritime logistics. Vessels that once passed through routinely now face stringent new restrictions, backed by engineering data that couldn't be ignored. As the technical reality of the crisis became clearer, the economic implications began to cascade through global markets, transforming an engineering challenge into a potential economic catastrophe. The economic shockwaves rippled through global markets with devastating precision. Major shipping companies began rerouting vessels around South America's Cape Horn, adding weeks to journey times and sending transportation costs soaring. The impact was a complex web of disrupted supply chains that touched everything from consumer electronics to essential medical supplies. Economists watching the situation unfold began drawing alarming parallels to the Suez Crisis, but with one crucial difference. This wasn't just about a single block channel. This was about the potential long-term instability of a crucial global trade artery. Insurance companies started revising their risk assessments, leading to premium hikes that sent shockwaves through maritime commerce. The real-time economic consequences manifested in unexpected ways. Ports from Singapore to Rotterdam began experiencing unprecedented congestion as shipping companies scrambled to adjust their routes. The ripple effects touched industries far removed from maritime trade. Automotive plants faced parts shortages, retail giants warned of inventory delays, and energy markets braced for potential disruptions in fuel transportation. Global trade analysts started painting scenarios that grew progressively darker. The potential for sustained disruption at the Panama Canal threatened to reshape global trade patterns that had been established for over a century. Markets that had long taken the canal's reliability for granted now faced a stark new reality, one where this crucial shortcut might no longer be dependable. In boardrooms across the globe, emergency meetings became the norm as companies grappled with a troubling question. How do you maintain business continuity when one of the world's most vital trade arteries shows signs of failure? As the economic implications continued to unfold like dominoes across the global stage, a new challenge emerged: the race to prevent this engineering crisis from evolving into a full-blown geopolitical standoff. When global trade holds its breath, the cascading crisis becomes more than just a local engineering challenge. It's evolving into something that threatens to reshape global commerce as we know it. Picture this: container ships, once flowing smoothly through this vital waterway, now forced to make decisions that ripple through every corner of the global economy. Supply chain managers worldwide are witnessing their carefully crafted logistics networks unravel in real time. Major retailers have already begun sounding alarm bells. The disruption isn't just about delayed shipments. It's about the fundamental restructuring of global supply chains built over decades. Manufacturing hubs in Asia, accustomed to reliable trans-Pacific routes, now face the prospect of significantly extended shipping times. The impact cascades through every step of the supply chain, from raw materials to finished products. Stock markets worldwide are reacting with unprecedented volatility. Trading floors from Wall Street to Tokyo have seen shipping and logistics stocks experience dramatic swings as investors grapple with uncertainty. The market response isn't just about immediate disruptions. It's about the long-term implications for global trade patterns that have underpinned economic growth for generations. What's particularly concerning is the timing. With global supply chains still recovering from recent disruptions, this crisis threatens to trigger a new wave of shortages and price increases. Industry analysts are watching key indicators with growing concern as inventory levels drop and transportation costs soar. The question isn't just about finding alternative routes. It's about the very sustainability of global trade patterns we've taken for granted. Alternative shipping routes, once considered expensive contingencies, are now being seriously evaluated. But here's the catch. These alternatives come with their own set of challenges that could fundamentally alter global commerce. As shipping companies scramble to reroute vessels around Cape Horn, a new reality is emerging, one where the predictability of global trade might become a luxury of the past. The reality of alternative shipping routes is hitting harder than anyone anticipated. The Cape Horn Passage, a treacherous journey around South America's southern tip, has suddenly transformed from a historical footnote into a crucial lifeline for global commerce. But this isn't just about longer journeys. It's about the profound reshaping of economic relationships that have defined our modern world. Industry experts are now projecting scenarios that range from concerning to catastrophic. The immediate impact on shipping costs has already sent shockwaves through commodity markets. Fuel consumption for these extended routes has skyrocketed, adding an environmental dimension to an already complex crisis. Ships now burning additional tons of fuel for longer journeys are raising questions about sustainability commitments in an era of climate consciousness. Major ports are experiencing unprecedented strain. Singapore's maritime hub, Long Beach's sprawling container terminals, and Rotterdam's massive port facilities are all reporting severe congestion as vessels attempt to adjust to new routing patterns. The domino effect is staggering. Delays in one port cascade through the entire global shipping network, creating a ripple effect that touches every corner of international trade. What's particularly alarming is how this crisis is affecting smaller economies. While major trading nations can absorb some of the impact, developing countries reliant on efficient maritime trade are facing severe challenges. The increased cost and extended delivery times are threatening essential supply lines for everything from medical supplies to food security. The stock market's response has evolved from initial shock to sustained concern. Shipping indexes are showing patterns reminiscent of previous global crises, but with a crucial difference. This isn't a temporary disruption. This is potentially a fundamental shift in how global trade operates. As the world grapples with these far-reaching implications, attention turns to an even more pressing question: the race against time to find engineering solutions before the crisis deepens beyond control. The engineering battle, racing against nature's clock. In the shadow of mounting global pressure, an unprecedented engineering operation is unfolding at the Panama Canal. This isn't just about fixing cracks anymore. It's about reinventing how we approach infrastructure on a massive scale. The repair efforts currently underway represent the most ambitious maritime engineering project since the canal's original construction, with teams working around the clock in a desperate race against time. Advanced technology has become the cornerstone of these efforts. Cutting-edge AI-powered monitoring systems now track every microscopic shift in the canal's structure. These systems, drawing from a network of thousands of sensors, provide real-time data that would have been unimaginable just a decade ago. But what makes this effort truly remarkable is the integration of predictive analytics with hands-on engineering. Engineers aren't merely patching problems. They're implementing revolutionary solutions that could redefine maritime infrastructure. Specialized underwater repair drones, equipped with advanced materials technology, operate in conditions too dangerous for human divers. Guided by precision control systems, These machines perform repairs with microscopic accuracy. However, timeline projections paint a sobering picture. Initial estimates suggested months of work, but as engineers delve deeper into the complexity of the challenges, these timelines keep shifting. The interconnected nature of the problems means that fixing one issue often reveals three more, creating a technological game of whack-a-mole with global trade hanging in the balance. The costs of this operation are staggering, reaching figures that make even seasoned economists pause. When factoring in not just direct repair costs, but also the broader economic impact, the numbers dwarf the canal's original construction costs, adjusted for inflation. As engineering teams push the boundaries of what's possible, a new reality is emerging, one where traditional solutions may no longer be enough to combat the forces of nature and time. The scale of innovation being deployed at the Panama Canal is unprecedented in maritime history. Advanced materials science meets cutting-edge robotics as teams of specialists work in rotating shifts to implement solutions blending traditional engineering wisdom with breakthrough technologies. The integration of machine learning algorithms to predict structural stress points has transformed this from a repair operation into a technological revolution in infrastructure maintenance. Behind the scenes, a network of supercomputers processes terabytes of sensor data every hour, creating the most sophisticated infrastructure monitoring system ever deployed. These systems don't just track existing problems. They predict potential failures before they occur, allowing teams to take preemptive action. However, this predictive capability has also revealed a sobering truth. The challenges are evolving faster than traditional solutions can address them. The financial implications continue to escalate. Initial cost projections have been repeatedly revised upwards as the true scope of necessary repairs becomes clear. Beyond direct repair costs, massive investments in cutting-edge technology deployment, research and development, and long-term monitoring systems are required. When factoring in the economic impact of reduced canal capacity during repairs, the numbers reach levels that have both government officials and investors deeply concerned. What's particularly fascinating is how this crisis has accelerated innovation in maritime engineering. Technologies that were merely theoretical months ago are being fast-tracked into development. Specialized repair drones now work in synchronized swarms, performing complex repairs in hazardous conditions. Guided by AI systems that learn and adapt in real time, these machines represent a quantum leap in infrastructure maintenance capabilities. Yet, time remains the most precious and unforgiving resource. Engineering teams are racing not only against physical deterioration, but also against the mounting pressure of global economic impact. Each day of reduced capacity translates into billions in economic losses worldwide. Initially optimistic timeline projections now reflect a more complex reality, one where the intersection of geological forces and human engineering capabilities presents unprecedented challenges. Perhaps most intriguing is the emergence of new engineering methodologies born from this crisis. Traditional approaches to infrastructure repair are being completely reimagined. Engineers are developing adaptive repair strategies that evolve with changing conditions, utilizing materials that can self-heal and adapt to stress patterns. This effort isn't just about fixing the current crisis. It's about revolutionizing how we approach infrastructure maintenance on a global scale. As engineering teams race against time, implementing solutions that push the boundaries of modern technology, a broader question looms. What does this crisis mean for the future of global infrastructure and our ability to maintain it in an increasingly unpredictable world? The geopolitical and economic ripple effect. Nations are rapidly recalibrating their strategic interests, forging new alliances, and deepening rivalries in ways that echo historical power shifts. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative has taken on unprecedented urgency, while Russia's strategic interest in Arctic shipping routes intensifies with each passing day. Meanwhile, the United States finds itself performing an increasingly complex diplomatic ballet, attempting to balance its historical ties to the canal with the emerging dynamics of global power distribution. Financial analysts on Wall Street are painting scenarios that would have seemed implausible mere months ago. The global supply chain isn't simply experiencing disruption, it's undergoing a fundamental reimagination. Major corporations are abandoning decades-old just-in-time inventory systems, while emerging economies grapple with the very real prospect of being severed from crucial trade arteries. The economic ripple effects touch everything from consumer electronics to global food security, forcing a reevaluation of the economic models that have underpinned global trade for generations. Infrastructure experts worldwide are watching with mounting concern as similar vulnerability patterns emerge across crucial maritime installations. The Panama crisis has evolved from an isolated incident into a warning beacon for fragile infrastructure worldwide. From Southeast Asia's bustling ports to Europe's sophisticated coastal facilities, the specter of climate-induced disruption looms ever larger. As humanity grapples with these interconnected challenges, a new paradigm is emerging, one where the comfortable predictability of global trade gives way to a future defined by adaptation, resilience, and the recognition that nature's power ultimately shapes our economic destiny. The transformation of global trade isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a broader restructuring that challenges everything we thought we knew about international commerce. Economic forecasts emerging from leading financial institutions paint a picture that forces us to confront a fundamental question. What happens when the infrastructure upon which we've built our modern world begins to show not just cracks, but systemic vulnerabilities? Market analysts are now modeling scenarios that extend far beyond traditional risk assessments. We are witnessing the emergence of what some experts call cascading uncertainty, where disruptions in one sector trigger unpredictable ripple effects across seemingly unrelated industries. Major investment banks are revising their long-term global growth projections, factoring in what they term the infrastructure vulnerability premium into their economic models. The geopolitical chessboard is being redrawn in real time, with traditional alliances being tested as nations scramble to secure their trade interests. The emergence of new trade corridors isn't just about logistics. It's reshaping diplomatic relationships that have stood for decades. Countries with alternative maritime routes suddenly find themselves with unexpected leverage in international negotiations. Perhaps most telling are the conversations happening in corporate boardrooms worldwide. Companies that once operated on quarter-by-quarter planning are now developing decade-long contingency strategies. The very concept of supply chain resilience is being redefined. Industry leaders are investing billions in what they call route-independent logistics, a fundamental shift away from the Panama-centric trade patterns that have dominated global commerce for over a century. The insurance industry's response adds another layer of complexity. Major underwriters are rewriting their risk assessment models, incorporating climate change variables and infrastructure vulnerability metrics in ways that could fundamentally alter global shipping economics. Some analysts predict a complete restructuring of maritime insurance within the next 5 years. Meanwhile, the technology sector is responding in fascinating ways. Silicon Valley ventures are pouring resources into developing autonomous shipping solutions and alternative transportation technologies. We're seeing unprecedented investment in everything from AI-powered route optimization to experimental cargo vessel designs aimed at reducing dependence on traditional canal systems. Yet beneath these strategic adjustments lies a deeper truth. We are witnessing the end of an era where global trade routes were considered immutable. The business world is being forced to confront a future where adaptability isn't just an advantage, it's a necessity for survival. As we stand at this crossroads of global commerce, one thing becomes crystal clear. The story of the Panama Canal crisis isn't just about a waterway in distress. It's about humanity's urgent need to reimagine its relationship with the infrastructure that connects our world. The real question isn't whether we will adapt. It's how quickly we can reimagine our future. What do you think comes next? Share your thoughts below.